It's
Hi.
great to see faces, Thanks
Agree.
for taking
Agree.
a little time on this Sunday afternoon to talk about faith and how this particular circumstance has been benefiting you and bolstering you up, or how it's been a little bit of a challenge. And thanks for taking the time to share that with us. So tell us a little bit about your faith journey.
Well, thanks for asking. Mine's unique, I think. I didn't get immersed in this until March 17th because I had done the trip to Haiti. And the virus wasn't in Haiti, it wasn't even known of there. So I'm periodically in my room. I have the CNN. I was fortunate in that the TV had several channels from America. So I would see this stuff on the news and I would hear a little bit about it, but it was very surreal because life was the same as it had been while I was there. And then we had several Americans come down for Bible conference. And that's the first time that I was talking to people that actually saw, were living in those conditions. And they were telling me, and I'm going, I can't imagine. And they said, you can't imagine until you come back. So I'm supposed to come back the next week. And God just kind of changed the whole shift of the trip at the end, where we were. Steve Johnson stayed down there with me at the end. Like he came in. Okay, he came in on Friday for the Bible conference with several Americans. We did the conference. We talked a lot. We had a good time. We put them on a plane. And then he stayed because the Peace Project bought land. We had engineers coming down. We had all kinds of plans. And on the way back from the airport, I said to him, I'm starting to see some things that are a little alarming about this COVID-19. And he said, maybe we should go back early. And so he changed his flight, but I didn't change my flight because I was coming back that Sunday. So it's only a few more days. And we're sitting there thinking, Steve has a couple bags to jump on a plane. He just came on Friday, but I've been there for 3 months. I've got cooking supplies and food and different things. I was planning the next weekend Bible conference. So for me to just pick up and go wasn't going to be so easy. But we were sitting with Amos, our Haitian friend, and he said, Chris, if Steve goes tomorrow on a plane, you should be on the plane with him. And I just looked at him like, how? And he said, I'll come with you. I'll get this done. And in hindsight, Deb Lee says that he was like the angel leading Lot out of Sodom and Gomorrah, where it was like, where I'm thinking this can't be done. And he's going, come on, let's just go do it. So we packed up, and the next morning, unexpectedly, I'm on this plane to go back. And, we drive into Miami or fly into Miami, and it's different. Like everybody's in masks and everybody's looking at you if somebody coughs, and it was just crazy. So that was kind of my entry into COVID-19. I'd heard a little bit about it, but I hadn't really experienced it. But I had found out that I needed to work from home. Originally, they said for 15 days. And when that happened, it was like, well, if I can't go to work and be around the healthy people that I work with, I live with my parents. They're older. Mom has lung cancer. I can't go home. So I didn't know that further complicated things. And I kept thinking, how am I going to do all these things? And then Terry, the same afternoon that I'm packing to go, not knowing where I'm going to go, my sister Terry contacts me and says, so my mother-in-law's house is open. It's furnished. There's no food. It's clean. You can stay there. And that's where you're talking to me right now. So I'm alone in this place, which is not easy. So when I look back, I had these plans to come back March 22nd, and God said, you better come back now. And I did. And 3 days later, they started shutting down planes. Like flights were not flying back and forth. And I still know Americans who were stranded. So, it was a leap of faith to just jump out there and shift everything because I didn't want to leave early. I was there for a purpose and I wanted to finish my purpose. So it was really hard to make that shift. But in retrospect, it was like God was just guiding. So whenever I'm struggling right now, I think back to those couple days where everything shifted and they shifted for a reason so I could get back here.
And your
So that
support,
part has been really cool.
and the importance of your support system and what you're doing here at home as well. I should say, this is Chris Berg from Cleveland, for those of you who are watching. And, her mother, Judy Ross, is the one she spoke about. So back being home now to help support family as well. And you have two young daughters that are, in workforce that are around this particular challenge as well. And, I know that you have a great relationship with them, and I'm sure that this challenge has provided opportunity for you and the girls to be able to interact as well. And how are they handling the challenge with this particular pandemic?
Yeah, well, Mallory is a third grade teacher, so she's home doing online teaching. So we're in constant contact throughout the day. Something happens that's funny, something that happens that's stressful. Her and I are communicating. Shelby is currently, she also usually would live with us, but she is currently living with a friend right now because before COVID became as big as it was, there were two patients. She's a speech language pathologist, and there were two patients at the place where she works that had the flu. And so, thinking of grandma, she was already not going home. So she's got the mask on everywhere she goes, just really serious about this. And I know she's ready to come back home. I know I would like to come back home too. Um, Literally that day that I arrived back in Cleveland, Shelby picked me up, drove me to the house. We had masks on. I went upstairs and got a few things, and I'm still sitting here with my suitcases from Haiti and a few other things that I've picked up along the way. It's just crazy when you think about it, and yet it works. Everything is working.
Yeah, how have you found the technological, that the new digital platform gives us the opportunity to do what we're doing now about, encouraging other people to other brothers and sisters and their families to hold strongly to their faith and to build upon the strength that God provides for us. Have you utilized a lot of that opportunity?
I've done some FaceTime, and
Yeah,
done, go ahead.
utilizing the opportunity to encourage one another as much as you can, you know, utilizing this new platform.
Yeah. So I've used Zoom for some of the meetings. I joined the Atlanta meeting several times, and all of the Catonsville group also joins down there. So I've joined them a few times. So I've gotten to see their faces and some new faces. Today it was Massachusetts. What is their? All I
Hope,
know is it's a meeting that Steve
hope,
Davis is.
Hope and Staunton.
Yes, yes. So that was a different version, and it was
Sure.
nice to see some people in the building and actually singing. So that was kind of a nice thing too.
Well,
Um,
go ahead.
then I did the music. We had the music weekend that Jessica Miller and Nicholas Pratt organized, and that was really nice.
Yeah, I really appreciate the fact that you recognize how important God plays a role in things that we don't sometimes realize. So little subtle things that happen in our lives happen for a reason, and
Right.
and many of us are holding strong to that particular aspect of our hope and our faith is that this is in God's plan, and we just need to capitalize on the opportunity to share our joy and our hope and our happiness with one another. And you being able to do that in your workforce and in with your family is so important.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I agree. It's like I'm alone in this house, and I've been sort of down the last week. And when I'm down, I will contact Mallory generally because with her work being the way it is, she can immediately respond. Um, I have questioned, why do I have to be alone? I don't like to be alone. I'm a hugger. I'm a people person. I like to be around people. And sometimes when I go to the store or I drop something off at mom and dad's, it's almost worse to come back because it's a reminder of how alone I am. But yesterday I heard a thing on Facebook. There's a woman from Haiti that she's not Haitian, but she's been in Haiti for 40 years. She's in Miami right now, or somewhere in Florida, South Florida. And she does a little broadcast every morning. And one of the things that she said yesterday was I know I'm here for a reason because she's ready to go back to her home in Haiti. And I thought to myself, huh, that's it. That's what I have to focus on. I don't know why I'm alone, but I'm here for a reason. And I may never really fully understand the reason, but there's a reason I'm here. And this is where God has put me. So I need to make the best of it.
Well, we appreciate you sharing your story with us and encouraging others to be strong in their faith during these times of isolation and being by yourself. So God bless you, Chris, and pray that you'll continue to be safe and to be well.
Thanks. And you too.
God bless you.